Good evening, America. Hello, Chicago. And what's up, West Side? This is P. Ray of Black Excellence Hour, a show for people with high self-esteem. And I truly appreciate the company on this Sunday evening. We are in a new studio, a new platform, doing a new thing. Shout out to the great people here at Intellectual Radio. Shout out to Miss Wanda, not Miss Wanda, just Wanda B. Shout out to Mr. Winfrey, and shout out to Roman Morrow for bringing me on his show twice last week. Roman and I are neighbors in the Austin community, and he is another media professional there. And he said, P. Ray, come talk to us at Intellectual Radio. And so we went to Intellectual Radio and we had a very good time together. And the great people here said, hey, P. Ray, have you ever thought about coming over here with us? And here I am. So again, shout out to Intellectual Radio. That's why you never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, because we are very serious about this message of emancipation and abolition here at Black Excellence Hour. This is a show that is very serious about the intellectual experiences of our people, our political power, and our political capital in order to make sure that we are able to maintain ourselves in our country that we built, because we are as American as sweet potato pie. I want to give you guys the new call-in number as well. It is 708-223-8 953 708-223-8953. I said an 8. Let's try that again. 773-22 There, you messing up again, P. Ray. 708, because we're in the suburbs. 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. Shout out to Robert Oliver, who just sent us a message as well. So I'm learning the new setup of the studio. So thank you guys for rocking out with me this first week. I'm streaming through an iPad, and then we are live on intellectualradio.com as well as the Intellectual Radio Facebook page. Shout out to Dennis as well. As we do with every single show, we are going to start with a dose of self-esteem. I'm not sure if we're ready yet with that, because I sent an email. Wanda, are we ready with the Trump audio yet? Nope, not yet. Okay, no problem. Not a thing, not a problem at all. We're going to get that dose of self-esteem very soon. So let's talk about what happened, so that I can talk about what happened, and then we can never talk about it again. Because one thing that P. Ray does not believe in doing is harping in the past. In the book of Genesis, when God commanded the people of Israel to leave Babylon, he told them to leave and never look back. And there was a merchant, and his name was Lot, and he was walking with his wife, and she turned one last time to get a look at Babylon, and boom, turned into a pillar of salt and blew away into the wind. The biblical lesson in that is, if you look back, you're going to turn into a salty heifer. And P. Ray is not a salty heifer. So we're going to have this conversation one time, and then we're not going to talk about it again, because we have real work to do. We have an election coming in approximately 2 weeks, and we have to make sure that our people are very aware of what is at stake and how they need to vote. Right now, the Democratic Party is running scared. They never, ever expected for Chicago to be the wild card that it is, and now we are a wild card, my people. So shout out to everybody who caught on to the Black Excellence Hour vibe, because it's working. If you're watching cable news at all, you'll see people from the west side of Chicago talking to the national press, letting them know that we are moving on. So shout out to Miss Carter Truss, who is also from the Austin community, who actually helped raise me. Shout out to Mark Carter, who is also doing a lot of the frontline work. Shout out to Andre Smith from out south. Shout out to Zerlina Smith, who is from the west side and running as a Democrat for Cook County Commissioner. But she's also just, again, talking to the national media about how the Negro in Chicago is done with the Democratic Party. Done. They are played out like Jerry curls and beepers. But I also want to say that if you are pulling a Democrat ballot, be sure to vote for Danny Davis. Please vote for Danny Davis. It is a serious matter. He has lots of seniority and he does do a lot of work for the 7th Congressional District. We do not want to send a crook, a literal crook, to Congress to represent the 7th Congressional District because remember, our Chicago City Treasurer, Ms. Melissa Conyers Irvin, has been recommended for prosecution for official misconduct by the Illinois Inspector General. And P. Ray is the only person talking about it. It's like I'm the only one who read the report. It's right there on the website for anybody to read. And I still don't know where those charges are. We got to figure that out, Kwame Raoul. You had time to go bother Tiffany Henyard. Please do what the Chicago Inspector General asks you to do. Where are we with the self-esteem dose? Not yet? Okay. Oh, not at all. Okay, so we're not going to have our dose of self-esteem today, and that's okay. We'll figure that out again. This is brand new. So thank you guys for rocking out with me. So let's talk about what happened. As you know, the previous home of Black Excellence Hour is a legacy station. That means that they are an older station and all radio is dependent upon advertising. If you attended the event on Thursday at the Do, they were talking about how the advertising and the sponsorships have kind of dwindled. And so they greatly depend on the Democratic Party in order to fund them. I've seen the checks myself, so I know that this is true. This is not something that I'm making up. However, if you are depending on a particular political party to keep your business running, you can't have somebody there speaking against that political party and they're paying the bills and keeping the lights and the mics on. I get it. I'm not mad. I don't feel any kind of way. There is no beef. And I appreciate the experience because I met all of you great people through the mic. So that's it. That's all I got to say about it because, again, we have real business to take care of. So let's talk about Chicago Red for a moment. Shout out to everyone who came out to the press conference last Friday in front of the Cook County building. We were there to talk about the fact that Donald Trump has been removed or been ordered to be removed from the Illinois ballot by a judge named Tracy Porter. Now, let's talk about what exactly that means. Number one, her order, she put a stay on her own order, meaning that it's not going to go forward. She put a stay on her order because she said she wants to wait to see what the Supreme Court has to say. And the fact that she made the order and then put a stay on it lets us know that this was only for show. They were doing this to show out. She did that for her. Yes, girl. Yes. Moment. And we just gave it to her. And that's it. So Tracy Porter was actually appointed to the bench. She is a traffic judge, which was very interesting because I'm like, what does that have to do with traffic in Cook County? But I digress. And so she put this order in. And so Donald Trump is still on the ballot. Donald Trump will still be elected, as we all know, which is again why they are running like crazy. But we wanted to go do a press conference in front of the Cook County building on Friday to let people know that we were not happy with that. So we reach out to the press. ABC7 actually does show up, but then the people from the Bring Chicago Home group also were doing something simultaneously at the same time that we were doing it. And so the press went over to them, which is okay because the press has to do their job. And so rather than just standing there, we actually turned it into a mini rally. Shout out to Aaron, who is the ultimate Trump supporter. He brought his drum. We had a bugle player out there. We had people from every race, socioeconomic class. One lady pulled up. She was driving and she had these American flags on her car. And then she hurried up and she pulled over and then she came out with her Trump sign. And she's like, oh my God, it's so great to be amongst friends. So we had a ball outside Friday, but this is the part that I really want to share with you guys about Friday. Not only were we out there having a good time with one another, but we were also greeted very, very, very well by the public, specifically Black people. Oh my God. People were walking past like, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's right. We can't wait to do this. Yes, We are so proud of y'all. We're so happy with you all. The only people who really gave us a problem were white men. And what was funny about that is that they would try to come up and aggress me. But then when I would go get a white man for them to talk to, they would walk away. So, as you guys know, I always say I don't fight men. I go get men to talk to other men on my behalf. And shout out to the women who do that. Don't fight the men. Don't fight the men. Just go get another man to talk on your behalf. And so they, kind of got themselves together and moved on. We were also able to, again, just build a lot of momentum up there. Shout out to Kimberly Saunders as well. She is the one who went live and held the camera for us. You can see the entire thing on the Black Excellence Hours Facebook page. So it's working. And now Chicago has become a wild card, which is not what the Democratic Party expected to happen, especially in this 2024 cycle. They were supposed to be able to say, Orange man bad, he's a racist, so on and so forth. And then Black folks were just supposed to fall in line. I want to give a shout out real quick to the people who are speaking to me in the live. Shout out to Billy Ray Valentine's. Shout out to Pepe Renteria, Waveland King, Dennis White, and again, Robert Oliver, and the 27 other people who are on the live stream. Shout out to Boosie as well. She says she's so glad that I'm gone. Y'all don't do that to them. Don't do that to them. We want to show love, show deference, show respect. Shout out to Perry Small. See, when I went to the event on Thursday, I went there specifically to thank Perry Small. I'm going to get back to this Trump stuff in a minute, but I want to talk about this as well. So I went there specifically to thank Perry Small. I went and got my nails done. I went and got my makeup done at Ulta. I curled my hair up. I wore a little white sweater in case I took a picture with her and our colors didn't clash. Because, friends, we have to understand that regardless of how we feel about her as a person and her character, she still has a big platform. So when she called me in August of 2020, I was at my mom's house, minding my own business. I think we were actually making salmon croquettes and biscuits at the time. And so we're in there, we're making our breakfast, and I get a call. And they said, hey, can you come on the Perry Small show today at 9:30? And I'm like, what? Yes, absolutely. Because before then, friends, I had just been kind of trying to figure this stuff out. I'm not an activist. I've never been an activist. I've always been like a political organizer, and that was standing in my daddy's shadow. So I never knew what to do. I always knew, or I knew what to do, but not how to do it. So I go on her show. And she says to me, hey, thank you for coming. First things first, tell us your name, where you're from, what school you went to, and where you live now. So I'm like, I'm P. Ray. I'm from the Austin community. I was born in the 37th Ward, grew up in the 29th Ward. I went to Whitney M. Young Magnet High School, starting at an 11-year-old seventh grader, and I live in the 37th Ward right now. What's up, West Side? And so her response was, oh my God, I didn't think that we were getting a homegirl today. I thought we were going to get a little suburban chick. And I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And so our 30-minute segment ended up being an hour and 30-minute segment because Chicago really reached out and they were really interested in like what I was doing and my message, because they had never seen a Black Trump supporter, especially one like myself. Because again, I'm from the West Side, born, raised, bred. I got on my little jumpsuit tonight. I might go singing and drinking like I like to do in Black Chicago. Shout out to the karaoke spots. However, because I was there, that ingratiated me to the audience, and then that snowballed me into having the show. And so my gratitude, the gratitude that I have, you keep good energy and good luck and all that stuff by showing gratitude. And so I went to show gratitude. That's it. But see, if you don't have any love, it's hard to receive love. And that's okay too. That's okay. We're not here to beat people up. We're not here to be disrespectful. We're not here to besmirch anybody's character, because we got real work to do. We can fight on January 1st, 2025, after we've accomplished all the goals that we've come to accomplish. But in the meantime, in between time, we got to focus on what we're doing. So shout out to, again, Perry Small for bringing me Shout out to Pierre Cooper for working with me. Shout out to Melody Span Cooper for telling me that I was her favorite show multiple times, over and over and over again. Black Excellence Hour makes people feel good because this is a show for people with high self esteem. And if you got high self esteem, you're going to like it. So shout out to Melody for even giving me that reassurance as I was on her station. So enough about them. We are never, ever, never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, ever talking about those people again because there's nothing else to say. We got stuff to do. Pen out the story. Back to Trump. So um we um we know now that Black Chicago, Black America is moving on because not only has Black Chicago been very vocal about the fact that they are moving on from the Democratic Party, but so has Black Detroit, so has Black Philly, so has Black St. Louis, so has Black Memphis, so has Black New Orleans, so has Black Miami, so not maybe not so much Atlanta because that's the land of the sassy Negro and they love to ingratiate themselves with the Democratic Party, the home of the sassies. So we're not here to pull people as well. I've been on Twitter, as I told you guys, follow me at Twitter at PRAEBEH. Again, at PRAEBEH. And as I've been on Twitter, I've been having these conversations with Black people from all over the country. And they're saying that we in Chicago are attracting everybody because they're saying if Chicago Negroes can say it out loud unapologetically, so can we. However, what also happens to me is that I attract all these sassies to me. I'm talking about the sassiest Negroes you ever want to meet. One dude told me, that's why your hair look fried. I said, did your daddy teach you to sit up and cluck and gossip about a woman's hair? He taught you how to do that instead of build a bookcase. Where he at? We want to talk to him. And so we're not here to attract those types of people to us because they have nothing to offer us. Their masculinity cannot protect us. Their masculinity does not give them high self-esteem. Instead, they're literally just going to be around sassing us. And we don't have time for sassiness right now. We have no time for that. Again, January 1st, everybody get to what they're doing. But right now, we have to stay on code. So to the sassies, leave me alone. We're not here to convince you. We're not here to change your mind. We're not here to turn your heart. We just want you to stay on your side and leave us alone. We're not bothering you. We're not coming to your events. We're not sharing your content. We're not doing any of those things because, quite honestly, my love, we don't care. We don't care. We got other things going on. We are literally winning Black Chicago. Someone just asked how to call in. The number is 708 223 8953. Again, 708 223 8953. And next week I'll have that actually playing at the bottom of the of our video here as a stream. Again, I'm learning new. This is all new for me. And again, thank you to Intellectual Radio for working with me. However, back to what I was saying. So now we know for a fact that we have caught their attention, and now we have to really let them know that we're serious. So I want to give you a couple of updates on what we have going on. On Thursday, this Thursday, and every Thursday moving forward, we're going to be meeting to get Chicago Red organized. Chicago Red is a new political action committee that we are forming. The goal of Chicago Red is to promote conservatism to Chicago, to turn Chicago to a red city. Right now, I think we are a deep purple, but that's because a lot of people are not trying to be as vocal and bold and honest as we are. So, we know that they're here. We know that they're afraid, and we know that the propaganda is about to be increased. They're about to try to do and say anything to us in any kind of way because they want to keep us afraid. So, I want to give you a couple of things to talk about when they ask, why are you supporting Trump? Number one, we know that the southern border is open. And with an open door, anybody can walk in. When we were downtown this weekend at the Cook County building, a young woman walked up to me. She looked like she's about in her 30s. And she said, "Girl, why you standing out here? I ain't never thought I would see a black woman standing out here with a Trump flag." I said, "Girl, the border is open. That compromises everybody's safety." And she said, "How does that compromise my safety?" I said, "Okay, girl, we got about what, 20 people out here right now. Let's go to your house and I want you to let us all come in the door." She said, "What?" I said, "Let's go to your house and we want to let all these people out here. I'm going to tell them, come on, we going to your house. And when we go to your house, we are going to um go in your refrigerator. We're gonna drink your juice. I'm gonna fry up some chicken. We're gonna have some people sitting on your couch. I'm gonna, let a couple people take a bath. We're just gonna completely come and take over your house." And she like, girl, I said, "Okay. So then if that's the case, why do you think it's okay for us to have our border open?" And she said, "I never thought about it like that." So we're dealing with people who are not even aware of how our safety has been compromised. We also know that Al Qaeda has put out a piece of literature that talked about them doing lone wolf attacks with semi trucks. And what they want to do is run into people or put a whole bunch of explosives on a semi truck. And then they want to come to where we are located and blow them up and hurt us. And when they wrote this story, they used the Chicago skyline as the backdrop of the story. So they already have put it out there that they are coming for us. Number one, you tell them that the door is open and Al Qaeda is in the door. Al Qaeda is in the door. They told us this was actually on the news in June 2021 on ABC 7. Number two, you're going to tell them that I-290 has turned the west side of Chicago into a narco town. And a narco town is a town that is ran by criminal cartels that are selling narcotics. And if you've been on the west side of Chicago lately, especially in that Garfield Park area, you know it's a whole bunch of leaning and rocking and rocking and leaning because people are off the dope. Now, people will say, well, people have always been off dope over there. However, um what makes this different than what we typically see is that the cartels have specifically chose the west side of Chicago as their distribution center. Just like Sears, just like Spiegel's, just like every other factory. Remember, we had the meat houses over there in the Fulton market area. So the west side of Chicago has always been America's distribution center because all roads in America lead to the west side of Chicago. And so now we have these international groups that are now sending their people up here because remember, every single person who gets off one of those buses paid the cartel to traffic them to the American border. And now they're coming to Chicago to finish working for the group that brought them to the country. They're importing their own workforce, but I digress. So they're here because of I-290. They're here because of our high black male unemployment rate, even though now they're bringing in their own workers. And number three, the fact that we're a sanctuary city. So in a sanctuary city, any and anybody in the world can come here and commit a crime and never be deported because our local police force does not work with the federal government to deport people out of here. So what that looks like for us is that the people who are getting off these buses can attack us over and over and over and over and over again. And the city of Chicago, the county of Cook, and the state of Illinois is not going to make any effort to put them out of the country. Let's talk about some of the crimes that they've committed. Most recently, here in the city of Chicago, they were talking about the fact that this American citizen was on the Pink Line train near Pulaski. And the Pink Line train is the train that goes southwest. They're on the Pink Line. Four men motioned for a guy to come over to them, and they said he goes over there to check it out. So one man puts his arm on his neck, chokes him out until he soils himself and faints. They all rummage through his pockets. And then the Americans on the train saw what they were doing, held them down, and held the train until the police department came. So that's number one. Number two, we have a in Georgia, we had an incident where a young, beautiful woman who was in nursing school at the University of Georgia was going for her daily run. Oh, I'm sorry. I think we have someone. Oh, okay. Hold on 1 minute, caller. Let me get this out, and I'm gonna come right to you. Um, So in Georgia, the lady's going for her run. A man who had been arrested, now he's an illegal from Venezuela. He was living in New York City. He got arrested for abusing a 2-year-old. They let him out of jail on an I bond because, like us, they are a no cash bond spot. They let him out on an I bond. He leaves the state of New York, goes down to Georgia, and kills this woman while she's on her run. And the way that she was killed, they said, was through blunt force trauma, and then he like some kind of way disfigured her skull. So he not only killed her, but he like mutilated her body. And now that he's in Georgia, he's definitely going to be deported. But however, if New York would have done their job, that wouldn't have happened. Number three, you tell him there was a 3-year-old baby raped at Rainbow Beach this summer. And what makes me believe that this may have been an illegal is because they said it was a Hispanic man who did it. And I said to myself, no local Hispanics are going to Rainbow Beach. They go to Montrose. They go to North Avenue. Chicago's a segregated place. So they are not going to go to the South Side Black People Beach and rape a little girl because they know that they would stand out like a sore thumb. But someone who is not aware of that would not know that. So we have multiple incidents of people being harmed by these people, and they're not being deported because the city of Chicago, the county of Cook, the state of Illinois, the Democratic Party has denied us the services of ICE that we pay federal income taxes to fund. ICE has 25 billion US dollars to take care of this. But we can't even have access to that money because of the Democrat policies that are here. And because we all know and understand that, we getting away from them. It's time to go. Put on your gym shoes, tie them up real tight, because it's time to run to the right. Caller, welcome to Black Excellence Hour.
Hi, how you doing today? Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon, baby. How you doing?
I'm doing great. My name is Dennis. I'm the president and founder of FAFO Gun Club in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing right here. It feels good. How does it feel that you escaped the Democrat Plantation Radio show?
I feel it's okay. I liked them. Like I said, Melody told me I was her favorite show. So I get it. She got to pay her bills. At the end of the day, I'm not so let's just go back. So I like them. However, there was a culture of disrespect cultivated toward me, which is why I don't feel any kind of way about leaving. People like to roll their eyes, sabotage my show, talk mess. You report it over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they act like you're not saying anything, like you're just supposed to accept people disrespecting you. One thing about P. Ray is that I do not impose myself on anybody. It's 8 billion people in the world, and if you don't like me, that's okay. I'll just go meet new people.
There you go. And here's the reason why you left the show, or they call it. They say you left the show. I heard previous callers and previous show. They was happy that you left. The reason why, because you are a political threat to Black Democrats now. So once that threat is neutralized, they rejoice. They play their little harmonica. They play their banjo. They step and fetch. Say, see their boss? We got them out to our show. So good riddance for that show. Here's the thing. Now that young lady that got killed, right, Lincoln Riley, she got killed. Now I want everybody out there to try to loot, riot, break into these stores because she died. Because if you do it for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, why you can't do it for Lincoln Riley? You know why? Because she's white. No, that's number one. Number two, she's not relative to the Democratic blacks, the Democratic whites. That's the reason why. So now they focus more on bringing more migrants I'm sorry, more illegal aliens here to terrorize the streets, commit more murders. They did it in New York City. You think they're not going to do it here in Chicago?
Oh, we know that they're doing it in Chicago, which is another beautiful thing because I was going downtown to the South Loop studio and there is a shelter for the illegals down on Plymouth and Van Buren. And they're all out there selling drugs, doing all kind of craziness. So it always kind of make me nervous to be out there at night. And then I would leave that studio and drive all the way to Bellwood where the gas is the cheapest, fill up for the week, and then go home. Now I'm already out here. So it's great and it's more safety. There is no illegal immigrant shelter next door. So it's okay. It's a blessing. Count it all joy.
Yeah. Now, here's the reason why. Now, it's time for Chicagoans, mainly black women, to arm ourselves because these Venezuelan gang members, we can't tell them apart if they from Venezuela or from Chicago. But we need to arm ourselves now because now it's March. They out there right now. Give it about a month and a half to 2 months at least. That's when the crime going to really go up. That's when the rates are going to go up. That's where the murders are going to go up. And the shootings are going to go up. It's not about the black gang members. We got a problem with them, but we're going to solve that problem sooner or later. Just like we need to solve this problem with the Venezuela gang members and stuff. And here's a message I wish you was on the plantation show, but I can't give out my message and stuff. But then I want to say it anyway. To the Venezuela gang members, Trump going to deport you. And if Trump cannot deport you fast enough, Black Chicago know how to deport you. If you're gonna be deported one or two ways. You're gonna be deported on foot, or it's gonna be in a body bag. You make that decision.
Lord have mercy. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
708-223 708-223-8953 708-223-8953. You better get you a pistol full of hollow points. And that's just not for them. That's for anybody. Shout out to LaShawn Pettis from Design to Teach Group. She is actually doing another free concealed carry class this month. So next week I'll get more information so that more people can go and sign up. Our Constitution states that we have the right to carry arms, and I need everybody to get armed. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. However, to that point about the illegals being here, the Venezuelans, I do want to say they got some kind of prayers. Y'all, I drove up here. It was 69 degrees on the thermometer. Have y'all ever seen 69-degree weather in February in Chicago? No. But they are praying to the good Lord. Please, Lord, bring us some good weather. They brought some good weather in their suitcases when they came. So we do appreciate that because that one cold day or that stretch of cold weather really messed them up. And they got together, they burned their candles, they prayed, they did whatever they had to do. And now Chicago is warm. So we thank them for that. However, back to what I was saying, Donald Trump said that this is going to be the largest deportation move in American history, period. And so because we know and understand that, I want everybody to start pointing. Point right now. This is how you're going to start practicing to save America. Point. You're going to start pointing people out. They gotta go. They gotta go. Nothing more, nothing less, no more accommodations. We don't have any more money. And that's why we have to stay on code in order to make this work. If Donald Trump does not get in office, my friends, you better learn Spanish. Now, hablo español muy bien. Estudié español para 7 años en las escuelas aquí. Practico español todos los días con mis amigos on the west side. But if you don't understand what I just said, you better vote for Trump because you can't participate. You will not be able to participate in the job market because they're now going for bilingual preferred. And my CPS Spanish, while it's good, I took all the way up to Honor Spanish 4. While my CPS Spanish is strong, it cannot compete against native speakers. on any level. So that means that I am going to be out the workforce. Baby Love, I have her learning French. So she doesn't know Spanish at all. So she will not be able to be in the workforce. Your children will not be able to be in the workforce. That's why we have to take this seriously. And they know this, my friends. They never thought that Chicago would be a wild card. When they sit down and they make these political plans, they do them 10, 15, 20 years out. They never thought that they would have to question what is going on. Lemuel Washington asks, are we working with other red cities in Illinois? Uh, yes and no. Again, we're trying to build Chicago red. So if you if you Lamel know people down in Peoria or Cairo or where else are black people in the state? Up in the Quad Cities, Waukegan, Rockford, wherever. Well, if you know those people, send them our way because right now we have to work on turning Cook County red. The rest of the state is pretty much red. However, it's the black people in Cook County that are preventing the state from actually turning red. And I want to let everyone know as well, we don't need everybody. We don't need everybody at all. We only need 15 to 20% of Black Chicago to go red to make the whole thing red. And y'all, it's happening. It is happening in real time. So that's why we're not begging. We're not, like I always say, we are not searching or seeking any friends or any company because people know where they're supposed to be. We are Chicago Public School graduates and we graduated from CPS when they were actually teaching. So we got good sense, great sense. And if your sense or your self esteem does not allow you to move on politically because you are already bought by the Democratic Party and you care more about social political experiences rather than preserving your neighborhood for your children, then that's your piss poor self-esteem. I can't do anything with that. And I'm not going to fight you to raise your self esteem either. 708 223 8953. 708 223 8. I keep saying 58. Let's do it then. 708 223 8953. 708 223 8953. I'm putting in the comments as well. And then next week, we're going to definitely have it streaming at the bottom of the screen. One moment. Let's see if I can pin it. Okay. I start the comment. So maybe we'll be able to see that number. But again, this is new for me. So thank you so much. Next week, once I figure out a little more to do, we'll get back to the audio and the dose of self esteem and all that great stuff that keeps the show moving. Because, yes, Miss Zaviola Coleman, we have great common sense. Yahir said, silence in the face of evil is evil itself. And it's true. It's true. That's why, again, you can't pay attention to these people. Anybody who told you Brandon is better is a liar. Don't listen to them again. Anybody who told you that Jim Crow Joe was the better option between him and Maidani, they're a liar. Don't listen to them again. Because since Jim Crow Joe has been in office, the cost of living has gone up $8,900. If you did not get an $8,900 raise, my love, you are living in a deficit and you struggling right now. And if you want to vote for struggle, go vote for struggle. That's your business, not mine. Also, we said Waveland King said Southern Illinois votes red, but Chicago is changing. And it's true. Again, we only need 20%. Pepe Ranteria said Latinos for Trump. And that is true as well. When we were out there on Friday, we had a number of Latinos who came over and were like, yo, we are so proud. We are so happy. Thank you for being out here. These people are making us look bad. Let's take another caller. Welcome to Black Excellence Hour.
Constituents or that doesn't represent my constituents because of the few
ma'am
they've spoken to. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Black Excellence Hour.
Yes, you're right. This is Dr. Rosita Chitanda. I'm glad to see you on, and we'll be sharing your information on our feed and with our members so that, everybody can log in. Congratulations on your new start.
Thank you.
It's their loss. Their Sundays will be extremely boring now,
The whole
and there'll
thing.
be no one listening.
No, let me not do that.
So
Everybody bringing their talent to the table. But yes.
yeah. So keep going. I just want to encourage you, and you're off to a great start.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so
and,
much.
and here's the thing: all the haters are gone.
Exactly. So that's why I said they can sit and be miserable together. See, you got to
Okay.
understand that misery loves company, and I'm not miserable. So when I come on and I'm happy and I'm talking about my Donnie and what we want to do, that grates the miserable people's nerves because nothing is more offensive to someone with low self esteem than confidence. Confidence is offensive to people with low self esteem. So I get it. It's okay. I didn't give it to them.
Yeah,
That's between their
and
mama and God.
you haven't done anything wrong,
Thank
and this
you.
was all part of the plan. We all saw,
Yes, ma'am.
but you keep going, and we're going to keep sharing because intelligent people can survive any kind of conversation. It shouldn't be you have to say everything I say or else. And so that's pretty boring. So anyway, just keep doing what you're doing and have a great time doing it.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rosita.
Take care.
Welcome to Black Excellence Hour. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening, P. Ray. This is Michael. I hope you are well.
Hey, Michael. Thank you for coming.
Sure. Well, thank you for hosting the show.
What's going on?
And my best wishes to you and your loved ones. Yeah, I listened to the WVON in the hour that was normally occupied by you, and I was really gladdened to hear several callers defend you.
Oh,
So that was pretty good, and it showed that you did have an impact, and people really took your words to heart. And I got to be honest with you. At the end of the day, it's WVON's loss. So,
yeah, it's okay. I told you the Democrat Party pays their bills, literally. So I don't feel any kind of way about them. I don't have any money for them. So they got to get it where it comes from. And that's okay. I think honestly, what it also speaks to is the fact that the Republican Party does not spend money with black media. So if anything, if I was to have any type of response, it would be that the Republican Party has to invest more in black media because the reason that black media overall leans more toward the Democratic Party is because they're the ones who bring money to the table for black media. The Republicans don't. So count it all
well,
joy.
that part I do understand, but the problem is that the purpose of black media is to serve black listenership.
Correct.
And black media does not do that if it restricts points of view.
I get it, but you got to go with where the money. What my daddy used to tell me, the golden rule is the man who has the gold makes the rules. That's it.
Huh?
So it's all good, but we wish
True.
them well. Maybe, if you keep saying Orange Man bad in different tones with different voices and people, maybe it'll catch on. But I think the people are a little sick of it. You can't have the same message for 9 years. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, and I totally agree. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there's one particular host that I won't mention by name, but that show has become increasingly shrill with the rhetoric, and quite frankly, it's become rather difficult to listen to.
I
But
get it. I
that's
don't listen at all for that
unfortunate.
exact reason. It's okay. It's a crowd of older people. I'm a millennial, so we got what we need to do. We know what we need to do, and we wish them well because again, they are a legacy station. They are very valuable to the Negro experience in this country, especially in the city of Chicago, and hopefully they'll get it together. It's okay.
Well, someday.
Someday, Lord bless them. Bless their hearts,
Right.
as the old folks say.
Right. Well, thank you again, P. Ray, and best wishes.
Thank you, Michael, and catch me again every Sunday at 7 p.m. I am here at IntellectualRadio.com. I got Miss Wanda B as my producer. I guess that's the term producer, and she is just beautiful in her vibe is lovely. So it's just a beautiful thing. Count it all
Good.
joy.
Good.
All right.
Good. Well, thank you and have a good evening.
All right. Thank you. 773-591-1690. So they did a show about me today. Oh shoot, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so used to it. Sorry, Miss Wanda. That'll never happen again. Oh my God. Whew. Wrong number, wrong spot. 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. I'm gonna practice all week until it comes out of my mouth the right way. Because when I hang up, I give the number. 708-223-8953. Count it all joy. Count it all joy. Because if I didn't, I would always tell people who would talk about me on their pages. Oh, speaking of people talking about me, so we went to the event. We saw how Perry treated me. Y'all know that now she's following my page. So she did all that because she my fan. And I get it. There's a mutual love there, but because of the environment, like I said, they really cultivated an environment of disrespect toward me. So in order to participate in that environment, she had to treat me like that. But now she watching the show just like y'all. So again, count it all joy, y'all. We are winning. As they say, my people, march on, march on, march on, march on. Do not look back. If you look back, you're going to be a salty, insignificant heifer, just like Lot's wife. They didn't even give her a name. She didn't even get a name. So we got a name. We know who we are. We know what we have to do. And this is why, again, we're going to count it all joy. Let's see what they have to do. Let's see how it goes. Let's see who they're going to bring to speak. Because I know P. Ray's the best. I know it. I've been doing this since I was 10, 11, 12 years old. I was raised in my congressman's office. I know how to have a political discussion because I learned from the best of the best of the best. And that is Congressman Danny Davis. So if you are not planning to pull a Republican ballot like myself, then be sure to vote for the congressman. Because again, a lot of people give him a hard time. They don't talk about what he's done. But I can tell you, he groomed P. Ray. Yes, he did. So shout out to him. We're coming up to the end of the show. So I thank you guys again for tuning in every Sunday, 7 p.m. We're going to start at 7. Next time I had to get myself together, but we are learning. I'm going to learn the StreamYard stuff and we're going to make it rock because we are winning. Everybody on Twitter knows that we're winning. Everybody on Facebook knows that we're winning. Everybody knows that Black Chicago has moved on from the Democratic Party. So if you love yourself enough to move on, congratulations. We got stuff to do. And remember, Chicago Red meets every Thursday at 7 p.m. at 5834 West Augusta on the west side, which is again 5834 West Augusta in the Austin community, Augusta and Monitor. Come out, join Chicago Red, bring your Trump hat, your Trump signs, your thoughts, your opinions, because we about to turn this bad boy out. When the DNC gets here, they're going to see a sea of red because Chicago is done. Again, put your gym shoes on, tie them up real tight, and run to the right. This is P. Ray of Black Excellence Hour, and I will see y'all next week. Mwah. Ciao. See you in a little while. Oh, for those who need to pull a Republican ballot, just ask for it. Just ask for it, and they'll give it to you. See y'all next time.